What's wrong?
Well, I'm sitting here listening to that, and I remember at the time, there wasn't that long to go, and he's making all these substitutions.
Right.
Now, anybody...
Obviously, Maguire came off, De Ligt came on.
Aye, anybody who... Everybody knows it takes time to settle into a game. It takes you a bit of period of time to get in the flow of the game, the whole thing. And when you make so many substitutions, particularly set pieces, people are going to be a little bit unsure of who's where. He's moved from one position to another. He's replacing him here. And so the organisation was totally and utterly out the window. Now, yes, you can turn around and say that, you know, particularly your centre-backs, whoever it is at the time, the elected Martinez should be talking to everybody and organising them. But at the same time, when you have so many changes, don't stick all this on the players, because that's what it sounds like. You know, when you make so many changes, as I've said 10 times already, there's going to be confusion. And that's exactly why, in my opinion, they lost that goal. Total confusion. Nobody really sure where they should or shouldn't be because of all the changes. So don't throw the players under the bus entirely on that.
And to the point of organisation, or lack thereof, Stevie, in that corner kick, there was plenty of time, because it's not like happened right away. The ball clears everybody to the back post, falls to Adringa. He now has the ball, and there is plenty of time for people to address that second phase of play. But what happens is, if indeed you go back to the initial part of that corner kick, it's this hybrid of, it's man-to-man, but zonal marking kind of sort of thing. And if you don't clear the danger right away, and you don't have a player who is supposed to be your assignment, then you sort of clear the line and you're not aware of what's behind you because you're covering a zone. So you have no responsibility. And when you have no responsibility, you're not paying attention. That's not your guy. That's somebody else's guy. That's not my responsibility. I'm supposed to cover a space. Well, guess what? There are 3 guys back there. And the space is not the one that is going to score the goal. It's the 3 guys in the back post that are going to score the goals. And yet everybody from Manchester United is looking at the ball unaware, zero responsibility for what's going on behind them. So in terms of structure, in terms of organization, they were all over the place. And it's not just the set piece. The first goal as well, and Stevie pointed it out, Lisandro Martinez. He's looking, and this is as basic as it can be. Who's more likely to score the goal as an attacking player? The big center forward who's sliding in front of you inside the 6-yard box, or the guy who's clear of the back post behind you? Well, of course, the big center forward in front of you. And yet, Lisandro Martinez, instead of stepping to that guy, he's concerned about what's going on behind him. And to the point of Lisandro Martinez, I'll say this. He is one of the players that has benefited from the fact that he has been injured and the team has been terrible defensively. Because all of a sudden, Lisandro Martinez and his absence, he has become Franz Beckenbauer, Franco Baresi, Paolo Maldini, Frank Leboeuf. He has become the best players and defenders in the history of mankind. He's a good defender, he's not a great defender, and he'll make mistakes like this, and the more he plays, the more we'll see it.
Frank, let's go into that in a little more detail, particularly for the second goal defensively. How much do the changes that Ten Hag made affect defending that set piece?
It does affect in a way that there was clearly a lack of communication, and Maguire had a good game, so I don't know why you change, especially in the defense, a player who feels confident, who leads, because he's the leader. He's the real natural leader of that defense, and he was doing well, and maybe would have cope with the situation, talking to people behind him. Even if on the first goal, he also leave the defender who scored the goal to cover the other one who also left his place. Therefore, Lisandro Martinez had to make a choice, and in this way, I agree with Ali. You have to go for the tall guy, not for the other one. But it's 1 against 2. But again, Maguire could have said to the left back, be careful behind you, check that out, because you have to turn your head like 10 times before a cross. That's automatic. It goes like that. De Ligt just came on. Maybe he's not the leader, he doesn't have the leadership. Maybe he feels he shouldn't talk too much. And we can see that he complains after the game, after the goal. But in fact, everybody has to be concerned. Even Onana should have talked. Onana sees the game. He should have talked to everybody. Guys, get back into position. Behind you 2 guys. Everybody has to talk. It's a big club. You need leaders everywhere, in every position. So there is a lack, for sure, of communication. And it's where I agree with Ten Hag. You cannot concede goal like that. It's impossible. That's impossible for me.
You know, as far as the game's concerned, though, United didn't deserve to lose this.
Right.
I thought they were actually the better side in terms of the 90 minutes.
So did they lose it because of 2 defensive errors?
Well, yes. And obviously that crazy goal that was disallowed, I mean, I've never seen that in my life.
Right.
I've never seen it ever before.
It was 100% the right decision.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But...
So are we saying we shouldn't be jumping to too many conclusions?
No, I'm just saying in terms of the game, Man United didn't deserve... I agree with Ten Hag when he said they didn't deserve to lose.
Right.
I don't think they did. And I would suggest that neither side deserved to win. I thought the second half was a basketball game. The amount of times both sides would go up one end, turn the ball over, they'd all have to run all the way back again. Brighton would not take advantage, and then it would be, let's go back up the other end. And so both sides didn't deserve to win it because the front players just kept making mistake after mistake, picking the wrong pass, making the wrong decision. So, yeah, I don't think the United deserve to lose again.
Frank, you agree? Not a lot of quality was there from either side, really, in the final third.
No, of course not, and especially the first half. It's funny, but Manchester United was good, 25 yards away from their goal and 25 yards away from the opponent goal, and that's crazy. They were doing great in between, but bad defensively, bad offensively. And Brighton, at some point, they were sometimes open. They could have been punished. I would say that overall Manchester played better, but I don't think they deserve to win either. But I think Brighton was very fortunate because of that Zirkzee offside situation to win. But yeah, nobody deserved to win that game.
Now, there's been some high praise from Erik Ten Hag for this man, Alejandro Garnacho, in his brilliant, unique celebration. Ten Hag says the attacker has the ability to become world-class at Manchester United. Well, Garnacho came off the bench to set up their winner in the season opener against Fulham last Friday. Last year, he became a first-team regular. Ten Hag says with consistency, Garnacho has the talent to become one of the very best.
You're going very quickly. World-class player. Then he has to go away a long way. He's a high potential, but to make the jump to become a world-class player, a long way to go. So, and it starts with very hard working. That brought him where he is now, and that will bring him to that world-class player. Because, and that is what I agree, he has the potential. Every club in the top needs players with, say, the X factor. We already have seen on occasions that he shows this X factor, but also others in our squad already have shown it. So if you want to be really that player where your colleague is talking about world class, then you have to do it consistently.
Well, Garnacho has been one of the first names on the team sheet for Ten Hag since the start of last season. He's made 30 starts, scored 7 goals and provided 5 assists. And he ranks highly for chance creation and dribbles completed, with only Marcus Rashford managing as many with 48. Well, like Garnacho, Joshua Zirkzee could be brought into the starting lineup for today's game against Brighton. He scored the winner last week. Ten Hag has warned players they'll have to be patient because of the amount of competition in the squad.
You have to accept that and then make sure that you are first under the first 11, make sure you're under the first 20, and that is, you have to prove it, so show it every day in the training pitch, and of course in every minute you can get. And so I was very pleased last week, and coming 2 players on, Zirkzee and Garnacho, and making the difference. You don't win with 11 players. In games, but also between games, you need more than 11 players to win the football games.
Why Mason Mount was substituted during Manchester United vs Brighton. Mason Mount was forced to exit at halftime during Manchester United's 2-1 loss to Brighton in the Premier League on Saturday. The midfielder, who had started his 3rd consecutive match, was taken off due to a problem, despite a strong first-half performance. Joshua Zirkzee replaced him at the break. United's manager, Erik Ten Hag, addressed the situation, expressing uncertainty about the severity of Mount's issue. It was a forced change, Ten Hag explained. He mentioned feeling something, and I didn't want to take any risks. Right now, I'm not sure how serious it is. Despite the setback, Ten Hag emphasized the depth of his squad. "We have a strong bench," he noted. "Bringing on Xerxes without hesitation shows the confidence we have in our substitutes, and Josh came on and played a great game." Mount endured 2 significant injuries last season, which limited him to just 20 appearances in his debut campaign with United, only 8 of which were starts. He is determined to reclaim his place in the England national team, having last played for the Three Lions at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. England is set to face the Republic of Ireland and Finland in the Nations League next month under interim coach Lee Carsley. Ten Hag had selected an unchanged lineup for the 3rd match in a row against Brighton, but changes seem inevitable ahead of Liverpool's visit next Sunday. Marcus Rashford, who hasn't scored since the FA Cup quarter-final draw with Liverpool in March, was also substituted just after the hour mark. Harry Maguire's error led to Danny Welbeck's opening goal for Brighton, which could pave the way for Matthijs de Ligt to make his full debut at Old Trafford. Alejandro Garnacho is also pushing for a starting spot after another impressive display off the bench. "We have a squad, and from that squad, we will choose the best team," Ten Hag explained. "We have starters and finishers. Today, the finishers had a good impact. Garna would have scored if not for the disallowed goal, Scott did well, Xerxes made an impact, and Matthijs de Ligt played solidly. We need more than 11 players to achieve success.